right, we have about maybe less than a minute or so, but I'll go ahead and open it up just so that we can get started on time. So again, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being here. We're here to talk about fitness facilitators with Celina and Hannah from Oklahoma State. So we're really excited for your presentation and just thank everyone for joining us. As always, a big thank you to our sponsors for making our conference possible this semester, especially for it to be a free opportunity. Towards the tail end of the presentation, I'll pop back into the chat with the evaluation form. So please just take a few seconds to fill that out when we're done. Everyone is muted upon entry, but I'll change the settings as we get started so that you can unmute throughout to ask questions. But we also recommend using the chat throughout the session. I know we'll have a Q&A towards the end. But with that, Celina and Hannah, I'll turn it back over to you. Thank you.
All right, everyone. So yes, thank you, our sponsors and Region 4 Communications Committee. And my name is Celina. This is Hannah. Our presentation today, we're super excited to share with you about our new role that we have developed. So our presentation is called Fitness Facilitator, Bridging the Gap Between Instructor and Patron. So we're going to start sharing a little bit about ourselves. And so my name is Celina. I'm going into my third year as the coordinator of fitness here at Oklahoma State University. I directly oversee our fitness associates who are employees out on the weight room floor. And then I also directly oversee the group fitness program here. I love volleyball, have loved it since I started playing. So that's a fun fact about me. Everywhere that I've lived, I've always found a place to either coach or participate in volleyball. So obsessed with it, just love it. Another thing about me, I have gotten into Olympic weightlifting and I have also fallen in love with that. So I'm coming up on almost 2 years with that and it's been a really, really fun ride with that.
And with that, my name is Hannah Bush. Again, thank you guys so much for joining us for our presentation today. This is my first year as the graduate assistant of fitness at Oklahoma State University. I'm currently completing my master's degree in educational leadership studies with an emphasis on college student development. So I work directly alongside Celina, really focusing like one-on-one with our group fitness programming, our fitness facilitators, for example, our group fitness instructors, and then also our F45 component. Fun fact about me, I have been a competitive gymnast for about 20 years. I did it in college as well. I love gymnastics. If you ever want to learn a flip, hit me up. I'll teach you. I love spreading that knowledge. But that was just a quick little introduction about ourselves before we go ahead and get started. And we actually wanted to go ahead and have you guys fill out a word bubble real quick. So we're going to ask you in 3 words, how would you describe your current group fitness program? I'm going to stop this share. Just give me one moment. And then I'm going to, sorry, give me 1 second. Technology is hard, right? So I'm going to screen share and then we'll go into our fitness facilitator mentee. So you're going to go to www.mentee.com and then you're going to use the code 8123926 to answer that question in 3 words. How would you describe your current group fitness program? Whether you work with group fitness directly or you're in facilities or aquatics, you still are in the building of Campus Rec. So however you interpret your own group fitness program at your campus, on your college, please let us know.
Struggling. I think a lot of us are struggling
yes.
with COVID and all of the changes we've had to make with it.
Virtual. Yep, we are right there alongside you. Struggling is a big one. Okay.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know if anyone has ever used Mentee before, but kind of how this word bubble works, the more people who input specific words, the bigger that word will become. So struggling seems to be our top competitor right now. Struggling, limited, virtual getting up there.
Struggling still the biggest.
Transitioning, I like that word. That is a fantastic word. Given this COVID era that we are in, I feel like transitioning has a little bit more of a positive spin on struggling. So I think I might start using that. That was a good one.
No, I agree. I like that one.
So I'm going to give us a few more seconds to get in any last questions there or any last answers. But again, it looks like our big three are limited, struggling, and virtual. I hope you all have been getting some great knowledge from these conferences. I hope that we impart some knowledge on you right here, because I don't want to be struggling anymore. I totally understand, and I don't want to be struggling anymore. So with that, we wanted to start off this presentation doing some self-reflection on how you all feel your current group fitness program is, so that you can be in the mindset to learn what we're going to present and then take what we learn or what we present to you and take it back to your campus. So going off of 3 words, Celina and myself really created our own word that we wanted to focus on when we were going into this school year, given COVID and knowing that we were going to be going into a transitioning time period. We really wanted to work on the word community. It was something that just felt so prevalent in these times. Like we're all struggling, and we need to be there together as a community of group fitness, as a community of campus rec. So I'm going to prompt us to our next mentee question, which is, how do you build community within your group fitness program? Again, community is the word that Celina and myself really wanted to focus on going into my first year of this GA position and Celina's 3rd year of her coordinator role. And I believe this should prompt you all to enter a little short comment, and then they will pop up onto the screen. Again, even if you are not a group fitness coordinator or a group fitness GA, how do you see community being built in your group fitness program? Mentorship, training, special events, awesome.
And these can be things that you're currently doing or things that you've done in the past that have worked as you're building that community.
Engaging with students,
Mindful
snaps,
conversations.
That's what we love. Continue education training, awesome. Engaging versus instructing. I feel like that's something all campuses have been struggling with right now. We talk about it a lot here at OSU. Everyone's like in a flood of emails currently. Like everyone's just so sick of emails. So making it engaging and not just like a boom of information, making an effort to talk to everyone. Love that.
Leadership has popped up a couple times. Really like the leadership opportunities, team building events.
Conversations about them and their development professionally and personally. Love that. Learning about participation's motivation for attending programs. That's an awesome one. We just had this conversation in one of our fitness team meetings. We usually do a spring break boot camp. Don't quote me if I'm wrong, but we were like, wait, what do we call it now if there's like our campus isn't having spring break? So that's key right now as well, understanding that motivation aspect for people. I'm going to give us about 1 more minute if we want to get any more in, but these are all awesome ideas. Thank you guys so much. Being more engaged in virtual, developing one-on-one meetings with employees, and mentorship. Wow, these are all great. I feel like our community building pre-COVID and COVID era looks totally different as well. So I like that a lot of the things that you are all doing within your community of group fitness can also be done in that COVID era. And I'm going to stop this share. And sorry about all the shares. We're going back to PowerPoint. Give me 1 second. And then, so again, like I just asked you, how do you build community within your group fitness program? Here at Oklahoma State in the past, we've run like 1 small off programs like Glow Zumba and other incentive programs to get people into our doors. We've also partnered with Res Life so that we can actually take our classes to residential halls, because we have some awesome res halls and we have some awesome group fitness studios in our res halls. So not only does that get group fitness out of our facility, but it also takes it to our patrons that we want to target, those first year students, those first year freshmen who are like, I have no idea what I'm doing right now. I'm brand new to college. And it really helped like spread the word about our group fitness programs. This year, we had to be a little bit more creative with things we were doing because of COVID. I'm sure that's been a topic for all of you in the past like couple of months. But with COVID specifically, we actually had the opportunity to do a lot of cool outdoor events because it was easier to regulate being safe outside because we could measure out like 10 feet apart spaces. And then also, since it was outside, if our people were 10 feet apart, we allowed them to take their mask off. So some things that we did with that, we did Zoom sunrise yoga on our front lawn, which was really, really awesome. We had about 70 people show up to that. We also had sample spin classes on our front entrance, like walkway. We literally rolled our spin bikes out into our front lawn. And then it was just a little sample class, quick 20 minutes, a good introduction. We also had a really fun event. It was called Zumba on the Lawn. It was a glow Zumba out on the front of our library lawn. It was fantastic. We had about 70 people show up to that as well, which we were so happy with those numbers because, again, going back to that struggling piece, engagement, getting people engaged is a real thing right now. So when we were doing all of this, like trying to connect with that community, we were also looking in on how we could improve our staff, like our faculty, staff, and then also our patrons who are coming in. So COVID really pushed us to look outside of our walls, as I'm sure you all have noticed, but it's also made us like retrospect on how we could continue to improve ourselves so that we can continue engaging new patrons from outside. So it was really, we took it outside of our walls, and then we realized that we really also needed to improve ourselves internally. So with that, this is where we wanted to do some areas of improvement, and Celina's gonna take it away.
Yeah, so some of the things that we noticed within our program was that a lot of our group fitness instructors were stressed out. So what their role looked like when they got inside is they would clock in, then they would have to go run downstairs to go grab a key, grab some towels. Then they would go run to their studio, wherever it's at, unlock that door. If they needed the storage closet, they would unlock that. And then also checking the sound system, making sure that works. And then we have computers set up in every room where they would have people track attendance. So they were doing all of these things at once while trying to build that rapport with their participants. And so they were just getting really stressed out. A big stressor that we had in the past was that our computer systems would crash. And so classes were about to start and they're reminding people, hey, don't forget to swipe in. And then they were just like, I don't know if I missed head counts. Here's a paper sheet. Like, what do I do? Let me make sure that we get these counts in because they didn't want to mess up any of the data that we were trying to record. So that was the biggest one, just big stress. Number two, we wanted to have more of a student-led program. Within our instructor staff, it's about a 60-40% split, with 60% of our instructors being non-student instructors. And although those instructors are really great, sometimes it's hard because they only teach one format a lot of the times, or they have very limited availability. So if we need a sub, sometimes they aren't able to step in to help so that we don't have to cancel classes. The next one was creating more avenues to recruit potential student instructors. So outside of the certification workshops that we host, we do have our group fitness prep course. And so we are in the second semester of testing it out. It's still fairly new, but prior to that, outside of just having people and just advertising them to come to our workshops, there wasn't really a way to get people excited and interested and to pull our students in. And so this was just something that we noticed, like how can we get more of our students in so that we can build that student instructor base that we want. The next one is improving data collection. So like I mentioned, a lot of the times the computers would crash, so we didn't always have the most consistent way to track attendance. We had a lot of paper sheets in the past semesters because of the crashes, and so we did our best to track what we could, but it wasn't the best in terms of efficiency. And then we just also wanted to have more excitement around our group fitness community. So it's something that we want to build up more. And with us doing all of these outdoor programs, we just thought, hey, this is what we can build better inside. We do have our instructors who have their regulars who come back to them, but we just wanted to see more excitement within all of the patrons and from all of our instructors with that engagement.
I also want to add, we not only did we want to create a community with our patrons, we also wanted to create a community within our staff of instructors. So it was like a double boom whammy situation there. But those were what we wanted to improve on. And then those next parts is our program goals in which we were going for.
Yeah, so from our evaluations, we really put our thoughts together and came up with these goals that we wanted to focus on for this year. So the first one, improving the efficiency of our class processes and data collection, creating more student-led group fitness community, and then increasing our participant engagement within our facility.
So I just will give a little quick background on what Oklahoma State University's group fitness program is like. So all of our group fitness classes are free to all of the members of our rec center. So what it looks like this semester to go along with COVID, all of our patrons had to sign up for a group fitness class membership. That was the way we could get them to sign that waiver. We created a waiver for them that outlined our roles as instructors and then also their roles as a patron. It made it easy to make the information about COVID accessible. So again, how our classes run in this pre-COVID area, we have limited availability for our classes. Once you are on your bike or your mat, you are free to take your mask off. Everything has been spaced apart 10 to 12 feet. We're trying to take all precautions as much as possible. And then also with our fitness facilitators, we'll talk about this more in a moment, but they don't have to do any of the cleanup. We actually take care of all of the cleanup so that we can safely assure like that every single piece of equipment that's being touched is being cleaned properly. Along with that, we have our in-person and our virtual options through Zoom/recordings. So going off our in-person, I kind of just mentioned those. We are limited to the specific kinds of formats that we can do just because we wanted things that are either staying on the bike or staying on the mat. So obviously we have our spin classes running, and we also have some yoga and some total body classes that are happening in person. Again, things where equipment is used, but you're staying in your own little bubble, your own little space. You're not interacting with anyone. So those are our in-persons. And then some of our virtual options that we have, we are doing those over Zoom right now. So we have some dance Zumba classes that are happening through Zoom. We have a Tai Chi that's going on through Zoom. And we have some other total body and body sculpt classes that are going on through that Zoom. It's the exact same thing. People register to attend that Zoom class. Once they register, they receive a link to go to the Zoom. And then when we're doing the Zoom, they actually get recorded so that then we can upload them onto our onto our website, and people can go back, like in case they couldn't make it to the class, they are available to go through that. So kind of like I just mentioned with our pre-registration through Fusion, for both our in-person and virtual options, people have to pre-register for the class for a lot of reasons. We wanted to make sure that we were trying to excite people and be like, oh yeah, like if you register, like you'll have your spot saved, it'll be totally awesome. And then also just kind of controlling how many people are coming. Since our class sizes are limited, for our spin class, we only have 17 bikes in the room because of everything spaced out. And then for our yoga and total body, we only have 16 people allowed to come. So we wanted to make sure that we didn't have like 40 people showing up and being like, oh, I'm so sorry. So we moved to that pre-registration through Fusion.
Yes, and this was also, this fall has been our first semester with Fusion. So with all of the COVID changes that we have put in place, it was really easy for us to just, hey, this is a new process that we're doing. Here are the instructions of how you can register and attend a class this semester.
Yeah, I will also mention it was kind of like we implemented a lot of new stuff with COVID. So COVID was kind of like, it wasn't fantastic, but it allowed us to do a lot of, like, we got to implement a lot of new stuff, which we'll get into in a moment. Fusion being one of them. So it's been a huge learning curve, but Fusion's been awesome. I don't have any complaints about it, but that's all I have to say about Fusion. So like I just said, we got to implement a lot of different things. We have done, honestly, like I just said, a lot. Going off of our goals that Celina and myself created, and also our areas of improvement, we decided that we wanted to create a new role, this fitness facilitator, to help us achieve and complete those goals that we made. So this role was literally the description that we sent out to people to have them apply. The role is designed to improve efficiency, engagement, and service to our group fitness classes to improve the patron experience with our program. That sounds a lot like our goals. Yes, you are right. It literally helped us. It helped us feel like we were beginning to create that community that we wanted. So like Celina mentioned earlier, our group fitness instructors were literally having to run the entire group fitness class. They would come in early, they would have to unlock the room, grab the towels, grab the spray bottles, grab the keys, set up all of the music. It was really hectic as an instructor to come in and then also have to teach class. So this fitness facilitator role was created to help take the pressure off of that instructor and then to also allow that community to be built. One, between the fitness facilitator and the patron, and then also between the instructor and the patron. So what exactly does the fitness facilitator role look like, you might be asking? So what the fitness facilitator does, they show up to class early, about 15, 20 minutes early, depending on what class it is. They unlock the room, they bring the towels down to the room, and they get the music all ready. And then they also have their little iPads that they carry around, and they complete the check-in process. And then that way, when people are getting checked in, they just get sent into the room and the instructor is ready, waiting to greet them. So they're creating that welcoming environment because they're literally greeting people at the door. They are specifically there to be group fitness greeters. And then it also allows the instructor to be like, hey, welcome in. My name's Hannah. I'm so excited that you showed up to spin this morning. And the instructor doesn't have to worry about all of that. They, like I said, they're preparing the studio for the scheduled class. They all know what classes are happening. So they go down to the spin room. They know a spin room, like a spin class is happening. They go to our other studio and they know a total body class is happening, but they're just getting the studio ready for whatever class is happening. Like I said as well, they're doing that patron check-in and that preparation. They literally log onto their iPad through Fusion. They've been given access through Fusion to check people in. So through Fusion, all of the people who pre-registered, it populates up onto their iPad. And when people come, they literally go, oh, like Celina showed up to class, checked in, and then it's good to go. Going off of that, once everyone's checked in, this goes into our data collection. They literally take that information and they input it into an Excel sheet. So literally the numbers of classes go directly into that little Excel sheet, and that's saved after every single class. So we're basically getting a live look at all of our data numbers, which is broken down into how many females showed up, how many males showed up, how many did we have no-show, and then we're going to start tracking how many no-shows we have and emailing them to let them know, hey, cancel your classes, please. Also with our facilitators, if the instructors need anything else, there's that additional instructor help. I know sometimes when I'm teaching my spin classes, my mic will sometimes cut out and I'll literally be like, Nikki, can you come help me real quick? It's an amazing idea that really helped me in case something went wrong in class. They're right there and I don't have to interrupt my teaching. I can just have them be the problem solvers. They also do cleaning, observing, or additional administrative tasks. So kind of like I mentioned, we wanted to make sure that our patrons weren't cleaning the equipment because you can't guarantee how safe patrons are cleaning equipment. the facilitators actually end up cleaning everything because they are literally our staff, and we can make sure that they are cleaning everything to the best of their ability. Also during class, our facilitators are observing the class. A lot of these people, Celina will talk more about our recruitment side of it, but a lot of these people are interested in becoming group fitness instructors. So they're literally watching what happens in a group fitness class, watching the different formats. And then also it kind of just goes off day by day of what Celina and myself need. They are a great resource for us if we have any other additional administrative tasks that we need them to do. I don't know, I'm getting a lot of chats if there are questions.
Some of the questions that you guys are throwing in the chats, we are gonna touch upon in our next upcoming slides.
Okay, yes. Sorry, I was just getting a lot of chats and I didn't know if they were pressing questions. But so the other awesome thing about our fitness facilitator role is, like Celina mentioned earlier, we are trying to move to a student-led group fitness program. We are on a college campus. We want to reach out to our traditional students that we have on campus. We love all of our instructors, but we really think we are on a college campus and we want to, I'm not thinking
We
of the
need
word.
more students.
We need more students.
That's how we're gonna get more people in.
We want more students. So when we are recruiting all of our fitness facilitators, I literally sent out, well, one, we looked at our amazing employees that we already had, but I was also like, hey, like, are you interested in becoming a group fitness instructor? And they're like, yes. And I was like, awesome. I have this creative new role that we're going to implement that will be amazing. You'll get to watch, you'll learn the behind the scenes. So it was literally like we were handpicking our employees into our in-house prep course. And these are some quotes from the people that are facilitators in our prep course right now. And we gathered some data before we did this presentation. And as someone who helped implement this entire system, my heart was just like so happy when I was reading all of their comments, but I'll just read them real quickly. I knew I wanted to be an instructor, so I thought it would be a great opportunity for me to get my foot in the door and see how instructors run their classes. That was why this person wanted to become a fitness facilitator. And then this one was really like thoughtful. I never pictured myself becoming an instructor because of fear of failure, but being an FF has allowed me to learn during each shift and become more comfortable. And then this last one, this role really helped me find the drive to take the instructor class and schedule an exam. So it's literally like an extra little cushion, like an extra little step before they're fully becoming instructors after our in-house prep course and after they take their exam. So that was really exciting. And then it's also creating that rapport that we were looking for. And that rapport literally builds community. You can't have community unless you have friendship and like interaction between like all systems. So again, like I mentioned, those facilitators took the pressure off of our instructors. So the instructors were able to go into class and literally go up and talk to people and be like, hey, like, thanks so much for coming. What's your name? Do you need any help with these things? It also created rapport between our facilitators and our patrons, because our facilitators are literally checking them in at the door and they're like, oh yeah, I remember you. Your name's yada yada. You're all checked in. You're good to go. And right off the bat, people are feeling welcome to come to our group fitness classes because one, they feel remembered, they feel supported, they feel welcome. It was just, it's like it's a nonstop cycle of good energy. So with that, Celina will talk a little bit about how we implemented this role, which is where I think a lot of those questions are coming from. Yes.
So I know some of you put in the chats questions about budgeting. So good question. What we did, we knew that the budget was a really, really important thing to consider when we were thinking up all the ideas behind this role. And so again, like Hannah had mentioned earlier, although COVID sucked, it really helped us create more for our program. So because of COVID, our facility is on modified hours right now. Our group fitness schedule is a lot smaller. It's cut in half compared to what it was last semester. So we were able to take those funds that we would typically pay for our FAs and group fitness instructors and funnel those funds into this role. So they are currently being paid the same rate as our FA role, which is $850 for us. And then they're able to use those funds for that. So it's really exciting that we were able to take that money and put it elsewhere for use. How we recruited, we were really intentional with the type of people that we wanted to represent our group fitness program being out on the front lines. And so we started in-house. We have amazing FAs out on the floor. Our staff of FAs, it fluctuates from about 60 to 65 every semester. And within that group, it's kind of separated into two. So in the parentheses, it says FA and then general FA staff. So I'm going to touch a little bit on the FA side, or on the F45 side. So we have a group of FAs who were already moving towards pursuing a CPT or GFI certification. And so if they were already taking those steps, we allowed them to assist with F45 classes. So they played a big role in, again, creating that welcoming environment and doing class check-ins in previous semesters. So as COVID became a thing, and as we all had to adjust class capacities for each room, to ensure that we were accommodating as many F45 patrons as we could, we cut down our instructors to a one instructor model per class. And so all of the FAs who were previously involved with F45 no longer had hours that they could have for the upcoming semesters. So they were the first group that we reached out to, because not only did we know that they want to pursue fitness, we also knew that they can create that welcoming environment. They can check people in, because that's basically what they've already done. So that whole group jumped on this opportunity once we gave it to them. And then we moved into looking into the rest of the FAs. Like I mentioned, we have a really, really big staff. And it's often that as FAs return each semester, they start to desire more responsibility within the program and more leadership. A lot of them apply for our program assistant role, but we only have 2 to 3 each semester. So with a staff that big, it doesn't give people a lot of opportunity for more responsibility within our fitness specific program. So we reached out to FAs, the ones who had previously, but maybe didn't get picked for the program assistant role. We also looked at ones that perform well on a consistent basis and went to go talk to them. We also put out just general feelers to everyone, like, hey, this is something that we are starting. Here is what it entails. If you're interested, please come let us know. Lastly, there were other program areas due to COVID that they've had some changes. So I know we have a couple of lifeguards that no longer were receiving hours. We were able to bring them in as well. And then, so we started off our fitness facilitator staff with 10 fitness facilitators. And so with our modified schedule, that has worked very, very well. They've helped out with all of our live classes and all of our virtual classes, and they've just become amazing resources for sharing what we're offering.
I would also like to add, when we recruit next semester for some more fitness facilitators,
yes,
we're not going to stay
just in-house.
Just in-house. We also are going to broadcast it to the public for people who are looking to become more involved, specifically in group fitness. Just wanted to throw that in there as well.
And then, so some benefits that we have seen from our side, from a staffing standpoint, the instructors in general just have a very, very better, how can I say it? Words got mixed up. They just have a lack of stress. They just feel like they're able to tend more to the patrons. So for example, one instructor, she mentioned, I'm able to focus on the class and participants more. If technology stops working like in the past, I don't have to worry about fixing the computer for attendance as I start my class. So I mentioned earlier that technology was a huge thing in the past. The computers would be working and then all of a sudden they would crash. And sometimes we had no idea how to fix it. Like we would have to call out IT, and sometimes the computers would be out for days. And so having those iPads, and if Fusion does crash or if something happens with our iPads, we can pull up Fusion on a phone. And so we don't like to do that, but in the case of an emergency, they could check people in on their phones, which again, takes all that stress off of the instructor. Next one, I feel spoiled that I don't have to do any of my pre-class setup. So they're loving it, being able to just come in and teach what they've been practicing on their end. And then last one, I love those 10 minutes before class when I can walk around and start to build relationships with the people who come to my class. So this one really made Hannah and myself happy, because that is something that we know is important to our instructors, building those relationships, getting that rapport with all the participants. So to hear one of our instructors say that, like, hey, now I can do it, and I love that my time before a class, I'm not stressed out, I'm able to talk to my participants, get to know them, that one like really, really made us happy.
Yeah, and Celina teaches a class, I teach a couple of class. It's so easy that all I have to do now is like focus on creating a great class plan. Like, I'm not stressed about anything else. I just show up knowing, hey, I did my part, I planned class. Now I'm literally just here to teach. It's amazing. Another benefit, this again, we sent out a survey to both our facilitators and our patrons. This is just some feedback from our facilitators. That again, it just made our heart so happy that these things have actually been making a difference. Because Celina and myself have seen it, but it's like always so rewarding when you get positive feedback about something that you were trying to do. So a couple of them is, each instructor that I have facilitated for has been so grateful that they don't have to worry about the setup and cleanup part of class. So again, our instructors have literally stopped into our offices and been like, this is so amazing. I cannot believe we used to do all of that craziness, all that shenanigans in the past. And then another one of our facilitators said, I love being in the classroom and making sure everyone is able to focus on the most important part of group fit, which is improving upon yourself. And then we also asked them how they feel that they have impacted how the facilitator role has impacted our group fitness program. And that was also rewarding when people said, I think I have impacted our program by knowing our patrons. I've been thanked so many times when I remember their names and I've asked how they were doing. And again, that goes off that last one. I think having a relationship with the patrons is key to having them come back. And again, this was just something that we were so happy with, because we literally saw that not only were our facilitators happy and felt that they had like autonomy in their jobs and had that self-efficacy, but also like our instructors felt very well too. So that was what the benefits were from specifically our staff.
Yeah, I will add too, it was just exciting to see that our ideas behind this role, they were coming to life. This is exactly what we wanted it to look like. And we're happy that our first little cohort of this role, they're able to build that community and that they feel like they're making a difference within our program.
And again, this is our first semester having this role and like really focusing on our goal of creating community. So it just makes us so hopeful for the future and what else Celina and myself can do in the next 2 years while I'm here.
And then, so we did send out some questions in a survey to the participants just to see the benefits that they have been noticing. So the first question, we just asked about the friendliness of our facilitators or the F45 instructors. And so it was awesome to see that 73% of people strongly agreed that they were greeted with friendliness, and 21.6 agreed. So just, it's amazing to hear that, yeah, they are being welcomed and that the environment that's being created is a friendly one. The next one, we were asking if they felt like the facilitators were helping prepare them for classes. So this means letting them know like, hey, welcome to spin class. Today you're gonna be on bike number 1, or hey, today we're doing a strength class. You will need 2 dumbbells and a mat. And so it was great to see that 64.9% strongly agreed that they felt prepared as they were walking through those doors, and 24.3 agreed with that.
And you also might be asking like, well, isn't that the instructor's job? And like, how do the facilitators know what the instructor is going to need? We also, when we are doing the onboarding of our facilitators and updating our instructors of this new role, we emphasized a lot that group fitness is a partnership between the facilitator and the instructor. They are both there to support and uplift the other one. So our facilitators and our instructors have an awesome relationship. Again, I know, speaking for myself, I love all of my facilitators who work my class. they have my number. If I'm running, like if they're running a few minutes late, or I'm like, hey, I'm just grabbing my dongle from my car real quick, I'll be right there. It's a great partnership that is between the facilitator and our instructor. Just wanted to add that in real quick.
And then next one was class pre-registration has helped motivate me to attend classes. So we mentioned that Fusion was a brand new thing. Prior to this semester, patrons did not have to pre-register. They would just come in, swipe their card. And so we were just interested to see, like, has this little change of adding the pre-registration helped to motivate you to come to classes and to return? So 45.9 strongly agreed and 27 agreed. So this was super exciting with it being a brand new thing, and that, hey, they're using it and it's keeping them excited and keeping them coming back. Next one, we had, with the current check-in process, I feel like I'm able to build rapport with the instructor. So we had over 50% either strongly agree or agree. So we thought that this was also an amazing thing to see, that they feel like they're getting to know the instructors, that are able to speak to them because they no longer have all those tasks that they have to do before or after the class. And then last one.
Sorry, I was slow.
Oh no, it's okay. So last one was, I've been able to make connections in group fitness classes. So this included friends in general or with the instructor. So we had 24.3 strongly agree and 37.8 agree. So again, super excited that the last two, being able to build rapport with the instructor and making connections within the group fitness classes, had over 50% from our survey. Again, this is just part of our goals that we've set for the semester. So it's been very exciting to see that the creation of this role has started that, started us working towards creating that group fitness community that we want.
So that was it for all of our information that we're going to throw at you. I'm actually going to pull up another mentee real quick, and we're going to ask, how do you think you can take aspects of this role to your campus? And I understand with budget cuts, not everyone has been as fortunate as Celina and myself in our department of fitness been able to do that. But really get creative here. How do you think you can take different aspects of this role and share it, bring it to your campus? I'm stopping my screen share. I got mixed up. And then I'm actually going to have you guys, you'll have to enter in a new code for your mentee, because the free version of mentee only let me create 2 questions. So we had to make a new mentee. But this mentee is, you're going to that same www.mentee.com, but this time you'll be using that code 145059. How do you think you can take aspects of this role, even if you can't do the whole role right now, back to your campus? Or I guess everyone's at their campus.
I'm looking through the chat to see if there's any questions that we may have missed, as well as you guys answer our mentee. As of right now, Courtney, I see your question. Are your facilitators other instructors typically? As of right now, they are just facilitators. Some of them are fitness associates as well, but they are not currently instructors.
Courtney, going off of that, kind of like what we said, a lot of our facilitators right now are going through our in-house group fit instructor course. So this is our first time having this role, so we haven't run into this we haven't encountered this yet. But I'm imagining when and if we hire on these people, the facilitators, as instructors, I am curious to see if they'll want to keep some of their stay on as facilitators, or if they'll want to transition fully into an instructor. I hadn't thought about that. I like that.
I'd imagine with some of them that we currently have on staff, they will want to cross over because some of them, those are the ones who just want to work as much as they can because they just love our department and our facility and what we offer so much.
These are great answers. We've tried using supervisors, but yeah, our fitness floor staff, again, it just seemed like, and again, Celina's directly overseeing our fitness floor staff, our FAs on our end. So it was just an easy little in for us there.
Let's see. Okay, we got 15 minutes. Just got a notification. Let's see, Anna.
Yes, building that confidence among staff interested in becoming instructors. I have a lot of my facilitators who kind of had that same comment as one of our facilitators on the thing on our PowerPoint said, that she was really terrified of becoming an instructor, but like this literally helped build her confidence because she saw like, oh, like it's really just Hannah being herself in class. Like she creates a plan and then she just does her own little thing. And she was like, yeah, I mean, you're just like a regular person and I'm seeing that played out. So I thought that was an interesting tidbit.
And I see your question. So we do pay our instructors hourly. All of our classes right now, they fluctuate 45 to 50 minutes. And so we pay them to come in before and then we pay them to come in after. So depending on the instructor, a lot of them, if they want to show up a little bit more than that 10 minutes, they can. And typically the cleaning time after, it doesn't take too long because you have the facilitator and the instructor cleaning together. Let's see. The shifts for the FFs, they come in 15 minutes before the scheduled class. And then during, it just depends. So we are developing a more comprehensive cleaning log. So a lot of our group fitness equipment in storage closets, we want to make sure that we're cleaning those. So we're developing one for each room. And then as those all get finished, we'll have those tasks set up. So there are certain shifts where we have those already developed where say Monday night, Josh is going to be in Dance Studio 1. So during the class, he'll have the task of cleaning the dumbbells and making sure that all of the mats are nice and organized and cleaned as well.
And we're working on putting all of that, I don't know if you already said this, but we're working on putting that on Connect 2 so that it's like they can log into Connect 2 from their little iPads that they have and literally check task off. And we'll be able to communicate through Connect 2. Again, this is a brand new role. We're taking it step by step, trying not to bite off too much more than we can chew, but that is what we are working on right now. Thank you guys all so much for sharing your ideas. I'm going to read a couple of them real quick, but this is an awesome way to give your students more of a progression upwards to their goals of becoming a group fit instructor or a PT. And then someone also said, I love how it was promoted to internal staff. Throughout all campus rec, it seems like a great way to involve student employees in other areas and have them really value their work. Yep, I love our lifeguards that we picked up. Like that was awesome for us because I was like, oh yeah, you want to come on over to fitness? I love that. So it was a really great like way to have other people, like other departments involved in our department and seeing like, oh yeah, this is what group fitness is doing on a day-to-day. But I'm going to go ahead, stop this screen share. Again, thank you all so much for doing that input right there. And then I will go ahead, share my screen back to my PowerPoint.
I saw someone commented that you tried to do it with supervisors, but like the idea of doing it with the fitness, different fitness employees. So that was something that we considered too. We didn't really want to pull our supervisors away from the floor and their other tasks that they have because we know like hopefully when COVID settles down and when we're able to build our normal group fitness schedule, there may be multiple classes going on. So we didn't want to pull them from other duties that they might have to have on shift. So that on top of just wanting to recruit more within fitness was our idea for that.
And those were all amazing questions. Again, like I said, that is all we have for our presentation. We definitely have time for more questions. If anyone else has more questions, up on the screen right here, again, is our contact information. Feel free to reach out to us, ask us any questions, ask us any road bumps we might have had. We are more than willing to talk through this entire thing with you all. But please let me know if you have any more questions.
Thank you all for tuning in with us.
I don't, but I just wanted to let everyone know if it's easier to talk through it, you can unmute yourselves now. So you can either use the chat or unmute yourself if you prefer to just talk it out.
I'm going to stop my share.
Okay.
Thank you, Jeremy. Thank you all again for attending.
Jamie, I see your dog.
Yeah, I just saw that too.
Got to make that hashtag happen.
Thanks, Jake. Yes, Anna, please
Thank you,
reach
Anna.
out. I wish you best of luck.
Ooh, that's a great idea, Joanna. I think that would be wonderful. Evaluate the instructor and film. That is getting added to our list of things.
Yes, thank you.
I think all are good to go. I just want to say thank you, and I love the presentation, so thank you so much for sharing that with all of us, and enjoy the rest of the conference.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, everyone.